So I'm getting started on this video by opening this gap up. On one side it was touching and I ground it down just a tad. But I did a test piece and it wasn't, hopefully you can see that, it didn't go deep enough to be able to make the curve that I need. So I just made this piece quick and dirty. Just to test before I started on anything else. But I'm also going to add this piece. I'm going to cut it down on the back side and add it right here. So I'll get that cut down the way it's supposed to be and I'll add it in. But I'll be right back and I just got this piece added onto the back to not allow the back to separate and hopefully keep this front uniform. I have a pretty decent gap there now, and I guess we'll go ahead and try it out and see how it's going to work. Tighten that up just a tad. But let's go ahead and get that piece of metal and try it out again. I'm gonna go get it back in place and we'll see how it goes. So I just got to mess around with it a little bit more and I got it to go quite a bit deeper. You can see I didn't bend this one at a perfect 90, but you can see how it's starting to bow just by that little bit. That makes me feel better to go on and start over here. And Dad came over tonight and I was talking to him about it. And he thinks I need to make this section before I do anything with that one. So I'm gonna put this one to the side and I guess I'm going to make a section that comes from right about here So I'm gonna make a section that comes from, hopefully y'all can see that. Let me readjust you. So along this gray mark and along this gray mark, it's going to, I'm gonna use this last piece I have to make this section. But I'm not gonna worry about this bottom. I might add it, I know I'm gonna add it later. But basically, hopefully you can see this, but there's a break here, down, a break there, the opposite direction. Then there's a soft break back up, then another break out. And I've got to figure out how to do that. But I still have my template over here. From where I made it. But I'm most likely just going to cut off the section down here at the bottom that I added and up here at the top and make it fit where I need it before I start on it. So let me go ahead and get that done and I'll be right back. So I'm going to get started by just taking this extra off. I'm not going to worry about cutting the contour out yet. I'm going to get this cut off, then I'll move this over and cut this other side off, and I'll go ahead and bend it before I try to do any type of cut. But I got to bend here, here, and there. So I'll get this cut out and we'll move over to the bender and try to get this looking like it's supposed to. So I'm going to go ahead and there's one of the marks that I have to put on the back side because that's where it's going to have to be. The way I made my brake, I can only go down with it. So this center line, to be able to go down the way I need it to, I need the marks to be on the back side. So I'll go ahead and get them moved over. While I'm here, I'll just go over with the ruler, the straight edge. So I got it bent a little bit. I'm gonna take it off and go check it. And just make sure I didn't go too much with it. But it's hard to tell, but it looks like I'm gonna have to go just a little bit more because it's not sitting completely down in it. But overall, it's looking pretty nice. I'm just gonna have to go just a tad bit more with it. So I got it bent again, and I'm afraid I might have went too much with it. And I sure did. I went just a little bit too much, so I'm gonna put my foot on it on the concrete. I'm gonna take you off once again just to show you. It's not 100% perfect, but it's a lot better than it was. I'm gonna try to show you the best I can. But that right there is what it's looking like so far. So far, not too shabby. I might need to move this line right here. It seems a little high to me. It needs to go over to the right of it. I guess that would be from your angle to the left. But all in all, it's fitting pretty darn nice. And I'll just have to cut this side off the way we need it. But I think I'm gonna get that line moved. And go ahead and bend the other side. I just got the last part bent up. I think I hit it pretty good right there. Of course, like I said, I'm gonna have to cut what's left off over there to be able to line up with my marks. But hopefully y'all can see that. have any Clecos or anything, so I'm gonna go ahead and put a pop rivet in each of the corners just so I can basically have it hold itself in place so I can fit this one up correctly and just make sure it hugs like it's supposed to and fits here. But that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna get started. I'm going to revert back to my original plan. I tried to make this all as one piece, and part of it is working. Let's see. Let me try to get this lined up right fast. So it should be right there. You can see the lines sort of lined up, but I think, let me explain. So I didn't notice this until now, but this goes up. It's not completely flat across the bottom. I don't know if it's supposed to be, but the way I'm looking at it right now, it isn't. And this piece that I made, if you notice, it goes the opposite direction. But it follows the correct contour because it like bends down right there. But when I cut it to put that bend into it, this way went the opposite direction that I needed it to. Does that make sense? So I'm gonna have to make this as a section. So I have a piece that hopefully will be big enough that I can bend a 90 onto it and shrink it and hopefully get that contour. Then I'll cut it right along that bend and just put it from here up. And I hate that I wasted all this time, but you live and you learn, and I believe I just learned something, so. But that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna cut this off right fast and get it matching up, then I'll worry about the other part. Up tonight. I've beaten banged as much as I can. I still have a few high spots. And I tried to mark this to remind myself to cut that off, because I don't want to get in. This right here isn't bad, and I want to stay as far away from it as I can. But I'm gonna, when I go in here, I'll just French it in all the way across, and I'm not going to cut all the way up here off on this piece, because all that's bad is right here and down. So I'll probably just cut it off, or make a piece from here down and try to get it to be that weird angle. I might just make it straight and hope it won't affect anything. But that piece I had, it was coming down that way. But I'll get out here in the next few days and get the rest of it done. So I'm just gonna go through, and I've already marked it, and just cut a section off like that and just bend it over at a 90. Then I'll come back in and add a piece back in. I think that's the easiest way I'm gonna be able to do it. So we're gonna go over here to the bench and get this cut out. I'll let you know what I'm planning next. Got it cut out and I got it cleaned up. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come through here and line it up with where the bend should be. And when I say the bend, I mean here, because my perfectly flat edge, I'm going to place it up there, and I'm going to mark the back side to know where I need the 90 to be. So, of course, it's gonna have that weird spot where it's messed up right here. I went outside to check on the other side, and it's perfect. And this should be completely flat. There shouldn't be that buildup right there. So, what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna go off this mark down here and this mark here. And I'm just gonna bend that little flap over at a 90. And that's what I'll shrink on. So that's what we're going to move over to next. We're just going to put the bender back on the stand and get this bent out. I got this piece shrunk up, as you've seen. Then I started to cut little pieces of extra metal that I had trimmed off from other places, and I got it fitting pretty decent. I still gotta make a section for here, and I feel like that's gonna do pretty well. I just have to take the old grinder or drill and disc and grind it down a little bit, but that's gonna be it for a little bit. I'll come back out here later and finish this up, and I'll start tacking it together, and eventually we'll start cutting all this mess. So that's the plan as of right now. So I just got back out here, and I'm just gonna start by cleaning this piece up and cutting it to fit this little area. So that's what I'm gonna get started with. Let's get to work. I got everything fully welded. This is what it's looking like so far. It probably doesn't look like much, but I just took a little sanding disc on my grinder, or not my grinder, my drill, and got some of it cleaned up a little bit. I just got some clamps holding it in place while it's still hot. There's still quite a bit of work to do, but all in all, it's looking pretty darn good. It ain't gonna be perfect, so I will let it cool down a bit, and I'll go around it and mark it out, and might go ahead and drill it out tonight. I'm not sure, it's getting pretty late, but I'm gonna let it cool down, and I'll be back shortly. gonna start by taking a hammer and dolly and knocking these down. I feel like that's the best course of action right now. Then I've decided I'm not going to take all this off. It's only bad to about right here, and it's still good right through here. So I'm probably going to take a mark from there over to here on this piece. So from like right there across and around, I don't know. I'll figure it out and I'll show it. So that's what I'm going to get started with, and I'm just going to get to work with it. So this is what I got so far. I got it fitting up the best I can. I took a little bit too much off right there, but it'll be alright. I'll get it tacked up and get it sliced across there and across the back and just get it tacked up everywhere, and I'll show you what it's looking like afterwards. So I got it all tacked together. I got it sit really pretty flat for the most point. In a couple places I got it too wide. So I might have to go get some TIG rod or something to be able to fill these holes up. But this is what it's looking like. Let me try to back up and let you get a visual. So that's what it's looking like so far. I don't think it's looking too shabby. I still have some spots I need to fix. Like there's a little flat area here. I gotta fix that. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with it. But I will, sorry, camera's dirty. But I just gotta get it fully welded and grinded, and I'll get started on that next. So this is what I got so far. I still got a hole there, a place there that ain't playing nice, and I still got to weld all the way around. I just got this one side completely welded. But that's going to be another day. It's getting late, so I will catch up with y'all later. I'm just going to get started from this far side and move this way. I'm just going to have to figure out what to do through here and right there, because it's really too far. It's a really big gap, and so. But we're going to get started over there and work our way across. Like I said, I'm going to get to work and I've got it just as far as I'm going to get it in this video. It's not perfect. There's still some high places. I put a piece in here. It's still high, but I ran out of grinding material. I found this one, but I haven't put it on yet to grind down any. But that's going to be it for this video. In the next video, we're going to finish this up and come up here, get this taken care of. And I ordered a patch panel, a wheel arch patch panel, so it should take care of that. So that's gonna be it for this video. Thank y'all for watching, and please subscribe.